Thanks for joining us again for another Rhythms of Hope podcast. We've all been hearing during this pandemic the saying, we are all in the same boat. But someone rightfully said the other day, we are not in the same boat. We might be in the same storm, but we are certainly not in the same boat. And I thought that is so true. For some of us, this pandemic is a dream boat setting. We are all aboard a good ship. It might be a time where we are resting, in a time of creativity and margin. And yet in the same storm, other people are in a sinking ship. You might feel overloaded with work at the moment. You might not have enough work and be overloaded with worry about finances. Perhaps you're doing the work, school, juggle, or maybe you're a grandparent who desperately just wants to be able to drive however many kilometers away to visit your grandchildren. For some of us, it's a dream boat. For others of us, it's a sinking ship. It got me thinking about life in general. Some of us face storms at different times, but the good news of the gospel is we get to choose the type of vessel or ship that we are on. I was thinking about this, and so I did a little bit of Google research on what is the most dangerous or what is the most safe ship to be on in a storm. And here's what I found. Number one, a hurricane is one of the most dangerous storms for a vessel to experience at sea. The other thing is the most dangerous ship to be on is an empty cargo ship. As I continued to read, it explained that it is safer to be a cargo ship that has substance on it so that you can navigate your way through the big waves that ultimately crash on these vessels. So the question for you and I is, in the storms of life, as a follower of Christ, what type of substance should we have on our cargo ship to navigate the storms of life? And here's what I want to read for you today out of Hebrews 11. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. Now, you might say, that's really great, Kirsty, but what exactly is faith? How does it look substantial in a storm? Well, the first thing that came to my mind is thinking about the birds of the air that it talks about in Matthew 6. It challenges us. If the birds of the air do not even have to store away food, they don't have to go foraging, but God provides for them every day, how much more valuable are you to God than the birds of the air? And as I thought about that, my thoughts progressed to the Israelites. In the wilderness, they had manna for every day when they woke up. In fact, God instructed them, don't store up the manna. What I've got for you today is everything that you need as far as your provision for today. And by night, he led them by a pillar of cloud. He gave them warmth. He gave them light, everything they needed for that day. So when it comes to us and the storms of life, perhaps there's some things we need to throw overboard. One of those things, by looking at this scripture in Matthew, is that we need to throw worry overboard. In a storm, do you know a ship can go from 30 degrees leaning to the left to 30-degree whiplash to the right in 0.5 seconds during a hurricane? That means captains and all the crew have to make sure whatever is on that ship is anchored down, and anything that can whiplash and be thrown around and cause damage to a person needs to be removed. Who knows that worry is one of those things we need to remove? Bitterness, unforgiveness is another one in the storms that we face relationally in life. Things that can't quite be nailed down. Things that aren't essential to our lives need to be thrown overboard. I think those are three important things we can get rid of. Now, here's the things that faith looks like in action. Things that we need to strap down and keep with us. It's stewarding the moment, looking just at the day ahead. God, what is it in this time of crisis that I just need to get through today? When we're going through crisis, when we're going through worry, sometimes we run ahead in our mind. We look 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead and wonder, how does this crisis look like in 1 month, 1 year, 5 years? But really what we need to do is say, God, how do I steward today well? Let's take things a day at a time. That's what faith looks like. It's not worrying about tomorrow. It's trusting that God's got tomorrow in control, and we just need to worry about today. And in fact, it's not even a worry, it's a focus. Let's focus on today. God, how do I steward it well? So let's break that down. It looks like attitudes. What is my attitude today? When I wake up, am I going to choose joy? Am I going to choose to trust God? Am I going to choose to steward everything that comes my way well? It looks like doing our work well, whatever we have before us. Let's use work as a moment to worship God. Do everything to the best of our ability. And let's be honest. It's another thing to keep on board with us. Let's be honest with God. God, I'm struggling today. God, I need help today. God, I need grace to get through this moment. God, I need grace with this person today. These are some things we can anchor on our ship in the storms of life. For everything that's not essential, let's throw it overboard.